Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review for Tower of God Chapter 434, or Season 3, Episode 17. I'm going to do the review for the next chapter, this week's chapter, directly after this one, so expect it up pretty soon after this video, probably a few hours at the most. Plan to do the two of them pretty much back to back. So, and mostly because this one's going to be really short. There really isn't a lot to talk about for this chapter, because, sometimes there's a little bit less to talk about because there's a lot of action panels, things like that. It's sort of one of those situations where there were a lot of big panels showing the action with Bomb going to wake up, Yama, and there were a lot of big panels showing off the room that Doom is, the room that Doom is being held in. So, yeah, I would say that really there isn't as much development with this chapter as there were for the one before this and the one after it. So yeah, one thing I forgot to mention in the last review though is that last chapter the art was particularly good. Like, the art's always good. The art's good for this chapter, 434. But for 433, just going back and rereading it, I really felt like the art particularly stood out as being good for that one, and that was one of the positives of last chapter that I kind of forgot to mention when I was talking about it yesterday. But either way, to talk about what actually happened and went on within this chapter, Gato talks to Dang Dang about not being his father really, about how he's fighting fate by running and all that. And Venti then shows up. Venti has wings, which I didn't actually notice before. I paid no attention to it. And Venti's there to stand guard. Apple and Rachel, who I'm assuming is Rachel, stand outside to wait there, since Apple is the one who has the thorn or fang or whatever, while Michael goes in with Paul's group. From there, we actually get to see, okay, Yama's older brother is named Baylord Doom. The name is kind of whatever. It's not a particularly great name. It's just sort of whatever. The names seem very, very random in Tower of God, so I mean, you shouldn't really expect a certain type of naming scheme at this point. But yeah, Baylord Doom, and we don't get to see much of him. I know they're trying to use the silhouette kind of stuff to make it more mysterious and stuff, and maybe make it more impactful when we fully get to see him. But you know what? I think it actually would have been pretty effective if CU wanted to go the route of just showing Doom there asleep in, like, whatever he's trapped in. I think actually just showing us Doom wouldn't have been bad. I would have been cool with that. But from there, Kun sees the fourth leader in a really quick cut to him and then cut away. And then Bomb finds Yama. So we spend a lot of time seeing what's going on there. We have a bit of a flashback where Jordan's explaining things about Yama sleeping to Bomb, saying he pretty much enters a really deep hibernation-like sleep. And of course we know his instincts kick in and stuff, and he fights back if anything tries to disturb him while he's sleeping. But it's something where I'm thinking it could be a cool part of Yama's character if this sleeping was somehow tied into his abilities. Maybe that's why he needs this hibernation-like sleep to recharge, because he's so powerful, but no clue. I do think it's an interesting quirk, though. I am interested to see what more is done with it, or could be done to explain Yama's character and the way he acts a bit more, so I'm interested to see where that goes in the future. But Bomb attempts to attack him to wake him up, and from there he just blocks the attack, so Bomb has to use Shinwan Ryu actually to create some distance there and hit him with a legitimate attack to be like, okay Yama, wake up. Still doesn't work though. Yama goes after him, attacks him in his sleep. All of that was cool, plenty of action panels, and Karaka shows up at the end to save Bomb, which is really, I guess, the only hype part of the chapter is Karaka showing up and stuff. And even in the blog, I read the blog post, there wasn't really anything to report from that as important. It was just really a transitional chapter from, okay, this is what needs to be in the last chapter, and then we need to have this little transition, this interlude, before we get into what's going to go on with Bomb, Yama, and Karaka for real, and what's going to go on with Kun's group and Doom's revival and stuff for real. So it just felt like a transitional space where we had just finished up with some things last chapter, and next chapter we're kind of just starting to finish off some things or to start some new things, and this was just kind of an in-between chapter, in between two higher points, I guess, when it comes to just the ebb and flow of a story. So yeah, transitional chapters, especially in long-running series, these happen all the time. They've happened in Tower of God plenty before, they happen all the time in One Piece, and they happen plenty in any long-running series. It's just a natural part of the way a story works. So yeah, mostly nothing happened. Nothing hugely important, it's just moving characters from place to place and setting things up so that the important things can happen in the future, because you can't just have important things happening out of nowhere. So it's just transition, just a setup, and it wasn't bad by any means, but it's like it wasn't bad by any means. There wasn't anything I particularly disliked about it at all, and at the same time, there wasn't anything that I can point at and be like, oh, this was really great. So that's why I think I'm just giving it 6 Hearts of Doom out of 10. Just because I'm not ranking it quite as highly as 433 or 435, because even though there isn't anything that I dislike, there also isn't any of those high points that I liked, you know. It was just sort of a whatever one. So yeah, that's it actually. That's all I've got. There really wasn't too much to talk about at all for this one, but there's a lot more to talk about for 435, and I'll be doing that review soon as I can directly after this. So I guess be prepared and expecting for that one. But either way, thank you for watching this very, very short one. This is probably one of my shortest Tower of God reviews, but I'm sure other action-heavy ones have ended up with short reviews too. But either way, like I said, thank you for watching. Like if you did like the video. Comment down there to tell me what you thought of this chapter, my thoughts on it and all that. Subscribe for more Tower of God and much more on the channel. And follow on Twitter if you want. And I can try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel or talk to you there. So, also, if you want a link to the Discord server, just ask and I can give you a link. Free and open for anyone. So that's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.